I don't know, like, she's out there. You're the Florida version of Sex in the City, JD.
That's when I was smoking my cigar.
Don't be an asshole today.
All right. Look it up. So I have one more. Next show, I'll be back in the studio room. They was fixing something on the wall, so one more.
Okay.
One more after
No worries.
with my blackboard background.
I know you put so much effort into that. I'm like, what?
Right? It's still not. Next week will be done. So try to get somebody to do anything for you, right? Like handyman or handy woman work.
Just it is not easy. I feel like an old person. Like it's not easy finding good help anymore. But it's the truth. Like I'm
Oh
learning.
my God. Absolutely. These kids today.
Get off my lawn.
So you were on daylight savings already over there.
Yeah, Sunday. We changed the clocks on Sunday, and it's still having an effect. Like it's just weird, you know.
That's my favorite time of the year. You get your extra hour and it gets darker earlier.
I do, I know, I love it, but yeah, it's the fact that it gets darker earlier, and I mean early, like 4:30. Like, oh
Oh,
man. But
yeah.
yeah, it's it's been cold and rainy and windy, and I'm like, it all timed perfectly, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. So we got a cool guest.
Yes, we do.
We got Amber Taylor Groves, who is the lead singer for Heads Hearts, but I think she's working on a new little side gig. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna talk to her like right now. I'm gonna let her in right now because this is way cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I've loved her forever. Oh man. Man. Oh,
Good evening.
here's my love.
How are you, ladies?
I
How
have
are you?
not seen you in forever.
Seriously, it's ridiculously a long time, isn't it? And you
It
only
is.
live like what, 20 minutes down the road? That's crazy.
Oh,
No, I know. I think I always think that you live really far, like the Burtons, like,
Yeah, yeah,
and you don't. You are literally just around the corner. It's crazy. JD, this is
absolutely.
Amber Taylor Groves.
nice to meet you. I was
Pleasure to meet you. It really is.
listening to your music today. I was on your website and your Facebook page and your YouTube
Mhm.
videos.
It's not stalking if it's another musician.
Right,
No,
right.
well, no, this is it. This is it. And I'll take it. I'll take the clicks. It's fine.
Yeah, I always every July when it rolls around, I go, oh, to my wife, I go, don't you miss everybody like from Alfest?
Oh, no,
Like,
I
and,
know.
towards the end, I was just going to see everybody's faces. I didn't even care whether I was involved or not, because it was just a weekend full of reconnecting and good music and
Yeah.
crappy food. And it was just like the best.
Yeah, all the feels. Yeah, I miss it terribly. I'm lucky I still see Cindy a fair bit, which is great. But yeah, I miss it so much, missing everyone.
Yeah, it was so fun, especially like the after stuff, like the late at night sitting around the fire, like just people just
That
picking up
sounds
guitars
nice.
and jamming and telling
Yeah.
stories and all that. It's just it's so good for the soul. Like honestly, it's
Oh,
incredible. And
What did
you
they
yeah,
stop
absolutely.
doing? They just stopped doing the festival?
well, it had 10 years, right? They gave it 10 years and I think Cindy's moved on to some other stuff. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think the last one was last year, I believe.
yeah. It was supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be before lockdown, standard lockdown stuff, right? That
Yeah,
was going to be the final one, and then
right.
that couldn't happen. All the rest of it, and we were supposed to actually play the final one, but we were plagued by. It was just never going to happen. I was so upset about it. Like it was, it just seemed like we should have definitely played it, and I was really sad about it. But it was a great event. Yeah. So she still does like Christmas things, not all
Yeah,
the
the
rest of it,
Christmas
but
get together. I did see that was
not the big festival, which is a
right,
shame.
right. It's so cool though that everybody still, clamors to get tickets and go and it's like I don't know, it was it's one of those things like lightning in a bottle. You always think like, can this be recreated? Like it's yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I do. I miss it terribly and miss your
special.
faces.
It was a special thing.
Yeah, and all that music. God, all that
Yeah.
music was so good. But you,
Yeah.
I watched a bunch of videos and stuff, and I love that you're still rocking out. It's the best. And so much has changed probably since the last time that I saw you perform live. I mean, like you got a kid, man. You got a little
Yeah.
dude.
I've got an 8-year-old kid. That's how old he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a while before that. I think I probably
All
last saw
grown
you.
up. All
And we
grown
were
up.
remarking that he looks like you. He's like a mini me.
Yes, he does. Lucky him, huh?
He's
It
so
suits
cute.
him a bit better. Yeah, no, he's a
I
great
love
lad.
it.
It's a
He's like
absolute
a little
pleasure.
bruiser, a little sports guy. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, really is. Really is. Very much into his football, which is cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of Sunday morning footy, huh?
Yeah, standing outside in rain like this. Is it raining?
Yep. Yes.
Oh my God. I didn't think we were going to be able to get connection because, yeah, it's been useless all day. The minute there's a raindrop, nothing.
Me
It's
too. I'm
like,
always so nervous on Wednesdays if it rains. I'm like, ugh, here we go. Here we go. If I freeze, just carry on without me. Just keep going. So I noticed a little something on your page that looked like new gigging, maybe?
new gigging. I mean, it's been a hell of a long time and it's way overdue. So, yeah, it's a cool little setup. Well, it's quite a big setup, to be fair with you. So, Matt Grierson, he's a DJ and he's been a friend of mine for many years. He played bass in Heads Hearts quite a few times,
Okay.
which is super cool. So, we've always stayed in contact. He's always sort of picking my brains for various musicians and for this and that or whatever. So he messaged me, God, I don't know, about 7 or 8 months ago. And he said, I've got this really big gig. It's a charity gig. It's for Save the Children. So it's like, I don't know, 500 odd people or whatever. He said, I'm going to do a DJ set. He said, but I want live vocals and stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, let me ask around. Let me see what I can find for you. And he was like, all right, okay. So I was like, just like, when do you need to know by? And I was like, oh, he said, oh, as soon as possible because I need to get some stuff sorted. I was like, all right, okay. So I was like, well, like, what sort of stuff? He was like, soul, disco, house, all the good stuff. And I was like, that's like the dream. That
Yeah.
sounds great. And I
Wow.
was like, I jokingly went, oh, I could do it. And he went, for God's sake, that was all I wanted you to say. I was like, oh man, I'd love it. I'd
He's a
absolutely
delicate
love to.
dance.
Yeah,
That's so
absolutely. So,
awesome.
yeah,
That's
Wow.
absolutely.
awesome.
I mean, there's like a live trumpet player, saxophonist, there's a male vocalist, there's a keyboard player. So it's a big event. So yeah, it's super cool. So we're putting together loads of like bits of or different musicians go and do a bunch of different events and bits and pieces. It'd just be lovely to get on the stage again. I just, I miss it
Yeah.
terribly.
I was gonna ask you, it's like it kind of comes in waves, doesn't it? It's like a nice break because there is nothing better than being with family and doing family things and all that, that kind of stuff. And then there's just always that little something that's missing,
Yeah.
you get back
Yeah,
out there and you're like, yep, this was it. This was it. This is it.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I
good.
Quite a big thing missing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, and I missed it terribly. As much as yes, I was enjoying all that sort of the family thing, and I hate being away from my kid and my wife. It's the pits. But at the same time, it's like that's half of me not performing or writing or doing whatever.
Yeah.
So to get back to it, honestly, the minute I kind of went out and did I did a couple of jam nights, and the minute I did that after not singing for like a couple of years, good few 3 years maybe, it was like opening a can of drink that you had fizzed up. I was like, oh my God, that's what it feels
Yeah.
like. What the hell have I? And
Yeah.
I didn't think that I could do it anymore either. So when I did it, I was like, oh man, that was amazing. I've got to do this. I've got to do it. So yeah, the
It's
planets have aligned and stuff's working out. So that's good.
that's
Did
a
you find it hard to get back after COVID as a performer? Because I'm still finding it hard to get out there and get gigs locally because there are so many tribute bands down here and so many bands in general that it seems like everybody is coming out of like hiding, and people are working for very little money, which makes it hard for anybody to go out there and put a band together, first of all. But yeah, I found it for some reason. I mean, I used to work all the time, and now it's like I'm finding it hard to get out there and just get the. I don't have a booking agent. I've always booked myself. So, have you found it harder since COVID to get out there and do gigs? Since you said you haven't played for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, there's a ton of brilliant musicians, ton of brilliant singers. That there's so many. This, and often way better than people that have been signed or that you hear on the radio all the time, and they're really good friends, and they're really struggling. But the minute that everything kind of started coming back and clunking into place again, there's all these musicians that have got all dust on their shoulders because they haven't really done much else and haven't been able to.
That's perfect. A perfect
But
way
yes,
to
it's like
put
a
it.
massive
Yeah.
kind of flood of everybody wants to go out.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. And JD,
And I mean, difficult. Go on.
JD is where I lived in Florida. And,
Mhm.
I always associated with it because I lived it, I experienced it with like, there's just so many like bars and clubs and beach bars and everything. But like you said, Jay, after COVID, so many places didn't come back,
Mm-hmm.
stage shuttered,
Right.
stage shut, so there's less venues, but more bands, and
Yes.
we were saying in the beginning of like 2023 or like the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, that there were so many bands that had canceled gigs because of COVID, and now venues were honoring them. So there was literally like a wait list to play because venues had to catch up. They were honoring
Right.
commitments to bands from before. So yeah, it's a total clusterfuck, I think, you know, for lack of a better word,
I know it's true. It's
you know,
it's
Word.
to try and get any traction again, which is so unfair because
yeah.
time that you put into doing your own press and publicity and rehearsals and everything, to have this surge now, in a
Mm.
for musicians especially. But JD and we talk like what every week about how what an oversaturated market podcasting is, because it's the easiest thing to do when everything shut down and there was nothing to do. Everyone started a podcast, your favorite
Mm.
celebrity, everybody started a podcast. And now with the writer's strike, and the actor's strike in Hollywood, again, people are throwing together podcasts like, and it's like, oh my God, stay in your fucking lane.
It's
You know,
true.
like stay in your fucking lane.
That's a chance, man.
Like the work that we put into just throwing
Right?
together this little indie podcast and everything, and then some celebrity just goes flick on a
Yep.
microphone, a million followers, a million listeners,
Yes. Did you
Yeah.
see
sponsorships, everything.
Fortune Feimster and Taro and May? I don't know her. They
Everyone.
started, they started a podcast and like within 2 weeks they had 1 million followers
Yep.
already. And I was
Yep.
like,
And they talk about fuck off, nothing. Like
nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yes.
because they don't have writers, because they can't have writers working for them. So it's just
Yeah.
But it's
mind-numbing.
definitely a buyer's market now. That's the thing. So it's
Well,
like
I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of people, I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking about myself. Like, I'm so bored and sick of what's on television, right? So I'm looking for any kind of entertainment, and not specifically podcasts. They don't have to be podcasts, but I think people are craving live entertainment, live music, anything, and 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 podcasts. Like everybody listens to podcasts, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think that people are craving anything to take their mind off of how bad like the whole fucking world is. So if
Yes.
it's live music, if it's a
Hmm.
podcast,
Yeah.
whatever, like just something to, keep their mind busy so that they're not focused on, wars and government and poverty and, everything. So I always think if like, you guys have a God-given talent, you know what I mean? Like go out there, use it, entertain people, because we talentless people need, like we need that. Like it's no joke. I feel like there needs to just be more people just walking around with their fucking amp in their hand and a microphone in their guitar case, just entertaining in every corner of the land, because it's ridiculous. Like we just need it so badly right now. It's horrible. So this is the
Yeah.
perfect time to be doing something new. And this sounds like levels, like DJ music, live music. Like I
Yeah.
love that. Like that's so different. I mean, not well, yeah, I think it's pretty different from what you were doing, right? You were
Yeah. I mean, it's like similar vibe. It's full of energy and it's full of soul. I'm in. I'm
yeah,
in both
that's
of
it.
them.
I know you
So
have
yeah,
the best
it
voice.
is slightly different. Obviously, Heads Hearts was very dancey. So it was always brought us kind of a club dance vibe. So it's what we're doing. I'm really excited. Playing with live musicians is my favorite thing in the world.
And it's
Sort of.
nice that you have like a history, like your bass player that dipped in and out of Head's Heart is
Yeah, absolutely.
it's built-in history, so that makes it a little bit, nicer
Yeah,
walking into
yeah, absolutely.
a family
Yeah,
atmosphere and like not knowing anybody or whatever. So yeah,
yeah,
that's got to make it a little bit more comfortable and
yeah,
fun
absolutely.
and fun. So
Mm.
do you know when this gig is? Like, is it going to be ticketed or
It is ticketed. The tickets are a lot of money. They're like,
as
yeah,
most
they're like,
are? We're all used to
yeah,
that.
I mean, it's a charity do, then fair enough, right? Yeah, I think they're something like 300 odd quid. So it's not your sort of average. I'm not doing anything tonight. Let's pop along there. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's work in progress. We kind of want to get this one done, get know that we've got it right, and then yeah, we're going to go out and do as many bits and pieces as we can, because we all play individual bits and we play for different bands and it's sort of different genres and all that. So the collective is going to be very cool. It's going to be very cool. I'm looking forward to it.
I was excited just to see they have an Instagram page. I was
Yeah.
like,
I know.
Sass Collective. Boop, follow. I'm gonna keep my eye on this. Okay,
That's
all
what we
right.
need.
Yeah.
I noticed that you do covers. You were playing covers in your sets. Do you have a certain type of music or artist you like to cover or that fit in your show?
Hmm. I mean, it's always kind of the Motown elements that
Yeah,
are
I
going to
love
be
the
there.
Diana Ross cover.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we put that in as kind of an end bit to one of our tracks. One of our tracks it was like a favorite. We always finished our set on it. And when
Mhm.
we were recording it, I was recording it with the guy who I set up Heads Hearts with, Ed Cox. And basically, we spent 8 months in his bedroom recording, and I was singing into all his jackets and stuff in there, sort of get that really like muted sound. And
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I
See, that's
love
how
that
much
behind the
grassroots.
scenes stuff. I
Yep.
love the behind the scenes stuff like that.
Oh, she just dropped off.
Goes
Okay.
up again.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, that's so Billie Eilish, isn't it? Like recording it in a bedroom.
oh, absolutely. Actually, I'm going to when we're done here. I'm rehearsing with Judy. We're doing a bonfire at her condo where she lives. They're doing a bonfire on the beach in 2 weeks,
Oh,
and
that's cool. That sounds like a nice, casual, relaxed gig.
we're gonna do it acoustic, the two of us. So that should be fun.
You know, I always tell you, when you start doing those little gigs when it's just you and her, you're so
Yeah.
much happier.
Oh, you're right. It's true. It's true. I have and then next week I'm rehearsing with the band. I have something coming up on the 15th of November that is going to cost me more money than I ever usually make playing, but it happened. It's what it is. It's a buyer's market if you want to play. It's
Yeah.
almost like in New York City when you have to pay to play. Hey, back.
Yeah. I was just saying JD plays with a band too, but you're also doing an acoustic gig with your friend Judy. And I said to her, when you do those things and it's just you two, you're so much happier.
Yeah, it's
It's like
true.
Yeah.
kind of juggling when it's a band, isn't it?
Oh,
All
God,
the
yeah.
egos, all the scheduling, all the,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And
yeah.
it's always for me because it's my band. Like it's not a collective project like it sounds like you're in, Amber, where everyone's doing it together. Like it's usually me with a band backing me up. So it's really just all on me and their work for hire. So it's not as fun to do it that way. There's no synergy with us. I don't feel. I mean, there is to a degree, but not like we're all in it together, kind of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're fronting something, it's difficult being that person
Yeah.
that's making everything happen. It's all on your shoulders, and everyone else, for some reason, seems to be like, meh.
Yeah. When's the rehearsal? When, no one ever cares about anything, booking anything, like scheduling anything. It's always on the person that's fronting. You're right.
To be fair
Yeah,
though, two of the people in your bands were doctors. So
Yes, before. Yeah, before
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Not,
yeah.
not anymore now, but yeah. That
Yeah,
was
that
tough.
beeper goes off. It's kind of understandable that they gotta run.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Wait, we got one more song.
does music pay better than being a doctor in America nowadays?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all. They're gonna leave that rehearsal studio in a flash.
It was more, you know what? I always had the trouble with the wives not wanting them to do it than anything else. So because they hardly ever see them being doctors, so now it's like they're not going to do
Yeah.
something that takes them away.
That's pretty fun. Amber, you've always been lucky though, because the Claire, I always remember her being at your gigs, doing your makeup, doing, all that kind of
Right,
stuff.
that's
Super
nice.
supportive, super involved, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I-
There honestly simply would not have been me doing any music if it wasn't for Claire. 100%.
Huh?
I think
Wow.
I think probably we've been together. It's 23 years this year, and I
Gosh, awesome.
I've done like probably around 5,000 gigs, and Claire has only missed two. And one of those, they were both weddings, so
Oh,
it
Uh,
wasn't a kind of invite somebody along. It was kind of me doing someone a favor and
yeah,
doing a bit of music for them. But yeah, it's been there every single gig. So I'm eternally grateful for the amount of time and support. There's no question.
that
yeah,
is a blessing for
yeah.
sure.
You have to have that, I think. Like, we were always, JD, we're always talking about how difficult it is when you're singing with not Judy, like totally excluding your friend Judy, but other women, when you sing with other women, or have other women in the band, it was very uncomfortable, you know,
Oh, yeah.
the
The
egos,
competitive,
yeah, the competitiveness, exactly. But
those competitiveness. Yeah.
yeah, I think is
It's
that,
not the way it should be when you're working with people, whether they're
No,
women or men. But
yeah,
I, Judy's the only person, the only woman I've ever worked with that wasn't like that. Like we equally, if someone um, compliments her, I think that's great. Like I'm happy for that. Like I'm proud of that, that we're working together and same with her. But everyone else I worked with, if someone complimented me, it like bothered them. Like they had to say something about it. Like it became very catty. Yeah, it's tough to work that way.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I just don't get that. Surely you've got your sister's back. That's the way it
yeah,
works.
right.
We build each other up. That's the whole damn point.
It
Yeah.
seems like it should be so simple, I think. And then there's that ugly little truth that's kind of like underlying, like to be fair though, Jay, you've had crappy luck with with other singers, but I mean,
Yes.
it's just one of those things that makes you a little bit sick, to think that, someone's, you're another woman's not supporting another woman in this day and age, when we're
Yeah,
trying
Exactly.
so badly. So yeah, that's in poor taste. I'm just gonna put it out
yeah,
there.
I agree.
That's terrible. But
Completely.
yeah, the thing I love too, Amber, about your music too, is that it's not uh like it doesn't hit just one kind of person or one type of audience. Like anybody will know a song, recognize a song, sing along to it, know the words, dance to it. Like it's a vibe and an energy. And I have never ever seen you play and have somebody not have a good time. You know,
That's
it's
good
just,
news.
you know what I mean? Like, I mean, from the audience standpoint, in case you ever wondered,
I'll take that. No,
you
absolutely.
know, like everybody has a good time. And when you look at the faces, it's older women, older men, younger men, kids, everybody. It's not specific to any one type of person. It's so
Yeah,
vast.
extremely grateful for that.
Yeah, it's
Mm,
really, really vast. It reaches everyone and across all different generations, and that's what I like about your catalog of music, is that it can be appreciated by anyone. You don't have to be
yeah,
a metalhead or a poppy, like it's gonna hit you in some places. Like
yeah,
it's great. It's fantastic. I really, really hope that this takes off, and that you're playing someplace that I can walk to.
Aw,
I'm
me
kidding.
too.
there's a quick Uber, a short Uber drive there.
Your Uber drive would be fantastic. Yeah, if you could make that work, please.
Is
Oh, no, I
your wife
appreciate
a musician? Is your wife a musician or work in the music industry in any way? Or
it. She isn't a musician. No, when we kind of first got together, I was in a big uh, uh, a covers band. There were like 13 of us, and we'd go around doing weddings and all sorts of stuff. Just a bunch of friends, and it was just an absolute scream. And then when we got together, she used to come to rehearsals because we all knew each other, and it was just a great laugh. And then she ended up joining us and basically doing some of the BVs. So we sang in the same band for like 10 odd
oh
years,
no.
which was
I
great fun. But
didn't know
it's not her go-to. She just, yeah, no, she, when we first got together, I'll make this quick. She had a little bump in her neck there, and I said to her, "What's that?" She's like, "I don't know." Like, ignored it. I was like, "You never leave a lump. Like, you got to go and get this checked out." So, bottom line was, she had a benign tumor. So, had a biopsy. Basically, they ended up cutting it out and giving her pretty much a half facelift and took it all off. But when they took it out, they cut all the muscles in her neck, which gave her full sort of paralysis in one side of her face. And Claire, she's an extremely smiley, happy person, and that just, it destroyed her. It was horrible. So all part of her sort of joining the band and doing BVs and stuff, it's kind of like, this will help you get the confidence back. It'll also be really good therapy for moving your mouth and
Right.
getting your on your neck and everything. So it kind of went from there, and she stayed until we didn't sing as a band anymore. Sort of everybody moved off around the world. So, but yeah, no, it was fantastic. Good times, good
Oh
times. But no, she
wow.
doesn't do it now.
Yeah, I never knew that. Like I am blown away. I had no idea. I literally thought she was a makeup artist.
No,
I was just going to
no.
ask you, is she a makeup artist because you said she did your makeup.
Yeah, could
No,
be.
but that's the joy of having two women in a house that
Right?
like
Yeah, right.
when you leave the house.
You used to say
I'm
that about
kidding.
having the two women in the band when I did work with other women. You could check your makeup with the other people in the band. You turn around to the guys and you're like, "How's my makeup?" Okay. They don't know. They don't care.
It's on your face.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
Yeah, I think it's in the right place.
When I did Pride Fest, we were outside and I guess my mascara was running and the drummer goes and hands some towels that he uses like for whatever with the sticks, and the bass player, who I couldn't stand, goes and grabs the thing and wipes my face with it while I'm singing, and I'm like, get away from me. Like, what was
Oh,
the didn't think that was a good idea to do that.
No.
Any
Was
situation.
that the start of COVID?
It might
Jay,
have
I
been,
would have died if I saw that because I know you and you didn't even
you
like
didn't see it
Amber.
happen.
If somebody ever said to JD from the audience, come on up here and sing a song, she won't because she doesn't want to be near anybody else's mic. Like she's
Yeah.
the height of a germaphobe. Like
I have the hazmat team come in and take my microphone away if somebody else on it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
good times.
missed that, Denise. I was like, where did that towel come from? Why are you wiping my face with it? But I mean, I was just finished singing the song, so
Oh my God, that's hysterical. I would have died. Normally, like J Deep does play a lot of Pride Fest. Like that's how we met years and years ago.
Mhm.
And and just recently I was back and she did Palm Beach Pride in Florida and I was home for that. And Jay, you get to at Palm Beach Pride, you get to share the dressing room with a fuck ton of drag queens.
oh God, yeah. Every Pride Fest has been that way.
And I always think she's gonna come out with this over exaggerated makeup. Like, if one of them gets their hands on her, we're all in trouble.
I can't even get near the mirror. I can't. I mean, they have all their stuff out. They have more makeup out than I do. Like, I can't even get near to put my makeup on.
It's hilarious. That's a part of the fun of Pride
Yes,
Fest.
it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I knew I turned a corner when I had a conversation with the man in pasties and I don't know, some a dress or something, and didn't even think about it. I'm like, I walked away and I'm like, it didn't even phase me. I was totally unfazed. Like it, and he had that thing they put on like before the wig,
Yeah,
and
the stocking thing, yeah, and the tape. Yeah,
that was funny.
it feels abnormal after that.
Oh
No,
no.
it's such fun though. I think I went to Birmingham Pride once. That was all it took was like one time, and I was like, I don't understand prides over here in the UK because it's nothing like a pride festival in the States where there's very specific an area, and then every single little vendor is right next to each other and you can go up and down rows and rows and then there's a
Mhm.
big stage, but in Birmingham and even in London, it's like the city was just like, yep, it's Pride. And you were
Yeah.
like, you would walk around like, is this part of it? Or
Yeah.
are we going to eat at a Wagamama at a Pride festival? Like, it's just like,
It's mad, isn't it?
it's
It's
a,
like the
yeah,
entire
it's like
city
anything
invested in
goes.
plastic. Yeah.
Slap a rainbow sticker on and, like, it's like I didn't really fully appreciate it right away. Brighton Pride was more like what I was more like
Yeah.
a stateside festival like that I could totally get into. But yeah, I think I walked around Brighton Pride not knowing whether I was actually at it or not.
Where is everybody?
You know, because I've been back like a couple of times, not to Pride, but I've been back to Birmingham a couple of times, and I'm like, this is just like Pride, right? This is just like Pride. We just went to the Nightingale or went to the Fox or whatever, and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know, but I would like to go, and I say this like every season, I would like to go to more local, Pride. I would like to go to Croydon Pride just to see what
Yeah,
that's like, just to see if
yeah,
I get mugged.
yeah, exactly. Be prepared, won't you?
Yeah. But like just like little local ones. We were talking about like we wanted to
Mm,
do Crawley or one of those local things and just see
mm.
like if they're anything
Yeah.
like we're used to,
Yeah,
but
do you know what? When we were doing the L project, we'd done the L project song. We got asked to sing all over the country, so we just get farmed out and so we played loads of prides. We did loads of buses and all that, and it was a hoot. It was so good, and it was so much fun. And I went to loads of prides that I'd have never gone to before otherwise. But there was one in particular. It was North Wales Pride. Now, I'm not sure how much you ladies know about North Wales, but there's a lot of sheep and not much else. So, no, like you'd be hard pushed to see a human in a week. But this Pride, they did an amazing job. They had some great acts on. I mean, of course, L Project was there,
Yeah.
but no, it was, where they did it, it was tight. There were 80 people. That was it, and it was basically on this farm, and
Wow.
various things were on in different like cow sheds and stuff. But the farm was tiny, but it was amazing, you know, because it was
Yeah.
like they're making it happen, and it was just, oh, it was such an incredible thing to be part of, you know. Is that this is where these little seeds, this is where it all grows from, and
Right.
it was a real precious thing to, you know, go to. And
Yeah.
then London, see, like someone's vomited Pride all over London.
It was just running through the streets like
Yeah,
Europe,
literally,
you know?
can't even run away from it.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was literally the weirdest day I've ever spent in London, from getting my ear candled to having lunch at Wagamama's and a quick drink in Kubar. And that was it. Like everything else was just making your way through crowds like
Yeah.
this.
Trudging through gay.
It was crazy. But yeah, I think some of the smaller little local places, you just, it hits you in your heart, you know, like it feels so much more like there's so much more connectivity, you know, everybody kind of knows each other, and you just feel like more at home.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think like that's a really cool, that would be a really fun little circuit, you know, to to go play, or you know, whatever, host, MC something would be really
Yeah,
fun to do all these little quirky weird places. We had Georgia Patterson on our show,
mm,
who's a singer from Wales, and
yeah.
it's so funny because like I follow her on Instagram or whatever, and she'll post some of the next couple of places that she's playing, and I'm like, I couldn't even pronounce that word. Like, where is that? You know, and it's like it's in Wales. Like, oh my God, can I buy a vowel? Like, it's crazy. But you know, those are the little things. Like, it's so great to see her like playing those little gigs, you know, and putting it out there. They're the places you just don't expect to see a Pride festival or see a queer artist or, you know, band or something. And it, so it takes you by surprise, but it's heartwarming to think that we're creeping in all those little, you know, those little,
Nestling in.
yeah, those little escape country spots. But it's,
Yeah,
that's what
nice.
I mean, like music that you guys are playing is so great to bring to those areas. Like those are the people that would appreciate it. Like I don't know that they would particularly appreciate some kind of house techno, you know, whatever,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
know, dude.
music, like something that rings a bell for them is, it's gonna mean something. And it's just I'm so looking forward to this. I'm so happy to see you back out there. I was just
Wow.
texting
Hey,
Lucy Burton and telling her that you were gonna be on the podcast, and
Oh,
she said,
Miss Lucy and Mandy.
"Oh my God, find out what's going on. Find out everything. Like, I need to know. I see that she's gigging. I want to know what's going on." I'm like, I'm on it. I'm on it. So
Oh,
yeah, I can't wait for this to take off for you. Like, I feel like you're gonna see a lot of familiar faces in the audience.
I hope so. I hope so. I miss some of them faces, you know.
Yeah, I was so happy that you were just throwing up reels every now and then.
Yeah,
It's,
no, it's because I worked out how to use Instagram. Who knew?
yeah, exactly. See, like we're all getting older, and we all have to move forward with the fucking TikTok shit and the
uh,
Instagram stuff and all that. Like
Do you know what? People are making their livelihoods through all this stuff, you know, and
yeah.
that's another thing, you know. I mean, it's always been the case. Music has changed massively through my lifetime of being involved in it. And
Mhm.
that sort of, you're going into a studio, you're recording stuff, you're rehearsing, whatever. Then you're going out and doing gigs, and you know, you're playing, and all the floors are sticky, and it's all a bit grotty, but you're still playing it, and you're still loving it. And then lockdown came, and more than ever before, everyone can create their art just sat on their ass in their bedroom, you know,
right, the
and they're getting paid a billion times more than I've ever earned
Yeah.
just from, you know, sitting in their bedroom, singing a song.
Social
Which
media.
it makes me kick myself. I wish I'd done it, or I do it or whatever, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's not my thing yet, but maybe, but
So true.
that's
Like
the way it is.
we have this discussion all the time. Like you guys, like you said, you work hard, you write a song, you get the funds together to have studio time to go and record it, and then you get CDs pressed and you sell
Yes.
CDs, right? And now nobody has CD players, everything is digital, all their music's on their phone. And
Yeah.
we were saying, like, it's like it felt like it happened overnight, you know,
Mhm.
like it just changed on a dime, and it knocked everybody for a loop. And so this is the next wave of that.
Yeah.
I feel like social media and TikTok, like imitating the dances and you know, people just singing for 2 or 3 minutes of a
Mhm.
song, you know, in their bedroom or whatever, and getting a fucking recording contract or becoming the next Billie Eilish, you know, like
Right.
yeah, it's like it's happening again. We have to move forward again.
Yeah, I know, right? Just when I'm just getting used to MySpace.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I was trying to figure out Threads because now apparently I should be doing something on Threads. So I just was the other
Yeah,
night.
that's my jam right now because you know everybody's abandoning Twitter, thank God, because that's just a cesspool of hate, filth, and misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So I just read that its value dropped like 65%
Oh,
since Elon Musk bought it. But you know what? If you're not gonna, you know, if you're trying
Good.
to steer the ship down, you know, a path of fire, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
burn, you know, it's gonna burn up. So everybody's kind of moving over to Threads, and they're every week it's like they're adding something new. Like now you can post 10 pictures, now you can post a video, now we have GIFs, now you know, like it's like they're getting there. They still don't have direct messages, but they're getting there, you know, and they've got like 100 million users now. So there
wow.
it does, and it feels nicer. Like I have to
Mm-hmm.
say, I think twice before I say something sarcastic or nasty. Whereas I didn't on Twitter. I just let it all
The
on
people are
Twitter.
like,
Absolute jerk. I mean, I was yeah, a major asshole on Twitter because it felt like you fit in if you were doing that.
Fly the flag, sister. I'm a giant asshole.
That's it. I should have just had that as my bio. But yeah, I was just like following suit. But on Threads, I really do give it a second thought because I'm like, I don't want to be the, you know, the jerk that's screwing up Threads, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like everybody's being a little bit nicer on Threads. I don't see as many fights and misinformation and you know, crap, like general crap.
Encouraging.
I don't know who I was telling. Was it you, JD? I was telling that when Matthew Perry passed away, I
yeah, we were talking about that.
accidentally like opened up my Twitter, and the
Yeah,
first thing I see is that Matthew Perry passes away because he had the COVID vaccine, and I'm like, oh my God.
Jesus wept.
I was like, are you okay? Then you go over to the Threads, and it's like Matthew Perry just wanted to help people, yeah, you know, and it was like this warm embrace of a hug about it, you know, and I was like, that's the difference right there. It's like it's so
Yeah.
simple. So yeah, I've been spending a lot of time on Threads and trying to, you know, build up a little bit of a follower base to get some information out and stuff. It's not great yet for posting links. I mean, you can, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it'll get there. It'll get better. It's getting better every day. So that
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
be the soft landing we're all looking for after that, you know, PSD of a of a dive that we all took on Twitter. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I might have to check it out.
you know, for me, anything but TikTok. You know, like I
Mm-hmm.
don't have that kind of time to waste. Like I don't know about you guys, but I'm susceptible to just falling down a rabbit hole of
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
problem.
Yeah. I can start like, you know, like I said, right, watching little kids eat lemons, and the next thing you know, it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like,
And
oh fuck, I haven't vacuumed, I haven't folded laundry, I gotta start dinner. Been watching these little kids suck lemons all day.
Unfortunately, though, it's a necessary evil. Like, you have to do it to get the people. I mean, to be relevant, you have to
Yeah.
do it. I
Oh,
tried to take a little break from it, and it's hard to go back once you take that break because it's like
Mhm.
I feel like doing it now. But I know people. We had Kristen Key, a comedian that plays guitar. Have you seen her, Amber,
so
on social
funny.
media?
Oh, I
She's
don't think so.
American. She has what she calls the lesbian army. That's like her fans, and she's built this lesbian army. And she's funny. She plays guitar. She tells jokes, but she really has built her career. I don't know if you've seen Denise.
On social media.
She was basically doing cruise ships for like 20 years, and now she's on tour from people seeing her on Instagram and TikTok and social media and saying, "When are you coming to our city?" So
Yeah,
now her whole thing is, "I'm coming to your city now," and she's going to come for 2 dates down here.
I
She's going to
saw
be
that.
here
Yeah.
in December and then in January. So
All started because she learned, right? Didn't she like sit down with somebody who was like really well versed with social media and
yeah,
marketing, and she marketed herself solely on social media. And it's like again, it's like, oh my God.
But the thing is, we used to pay for people to do that for us.
right.
Now it is as simple as just going on there and finding your groove,
Yeah.
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 unapologetically, this is my train, this is my
With
groove,
your
and
fucking phone. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like you don't even need equipment anymore. It's like everybody does everything from their phone, and they have apps for editing and and
Oh, no.
tuning everything. And it's like, oh yeah, again, it's just, I don't know, like all of a sudden I kind of remember making fun of my mom when she was like, I can't find something that I downloaded on my laptop. I don't know where it went. I downloaded it, but I don't know where it downloaded to. And we would have these extensive conversations. And now it's like, if I had a 12-year-old kid, I'd be like, look at, show me again
Right.
on here. Like, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like,
Right.
and I would be that kid. That kid's gonna go make fun of me, like the way I make fun of my mom.
we're coming
I'm
for
the
you.
person. Like, oh my God, it's finally happened. Like, we're
True.
turning the corner. We just talked about this. I just said to JD, I feel like I'm like that grumpy old person that's like, get off my lawn
Yeah.
all the time. But what you guys do keeps people like me young.
Oh,
Oh, that's good
You know what
news.
I mean? Like, I don't feel
Personally
old.
as well.
I don't feel old when I'm listening to you guys do your thing. Like all of a sudden, that's the beauty of it. I'm having a good time. I feel like myself. I feel like I'm 18 again. I know these songs. I know this music. I'm in my element, you
You
know?
haven't got your phone reminding you that you're old
I'm
anymore.
filming it.
Just
I'm
in the
filming
room.
it. I don't know
right.
what I'm going to do with it, but I'm
Right.
filming it. That's just
That's
it.
one of the wonders of the world. That's one of the modern day wonders of the world. Let's pay an extraordinary amount of money for a ticket for a gig and then stand there with a phone and film the damn thing.
Right?
What's
Oh my
that?
God. It's so
What is
true.
it?
Live in the moment. We just went to see a show. My niece is like that. My niece is a journalist.
Yeah.
She is just always like writing and filming, and a lot of times she has to do that for her job. But we went to see Mary Chapin Carpenter and Sean Colvin do a duo, like they do this duet show, acoustic, and they did not allow you to have your phone on during the show. And after it was over, she's like, I was so grateful. I just sat there in the moment and watched the show and didn't do like what you just said, Amber, because like you
Yeah.
can't enjoy it that way. You're not in the moment appreciating the now.
It's so
So
Yeah.
bad. It's so bad.
no one
But
does
it's like
that.
you say, yeah, it's like you say, Denise, like when do you ever watch this back? You
Yeah.
might trim it down to like what, 30 seconds and put
I
it
don't
on
even,
social
yeah.
media with another 30,000 whatever other people that have got exactly the same clip from a tiny different angle.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah. It's so
Yeah,
stupid. It's so
yeah,
stupid. Like, again, if I went through the videos that I have on my phone, I'm
Mhm.
almost positive that I have probably I can count on one hand of the amount of people I've sent them to, and yet I have 300 videos on my phone.
Right? Me too.
5 different. It's so dumb. It is so quick. And you want to know the worst thing? Every year I tell myself it's coming, right? It's almost Guy Fawkes night. Every year we go to see the fireworks, and I'm the asshole that's like watching it through my phone. And then I'm taking a million pictures, and then I get home, and every single fucking one looks exactly the same. I can't even.
And they're all shit as well.
They're terrible.
You never get a good photograph of the fireworks. Just don't.
Never look as good, right?
You can't.
I swear to God. And every year I say to myself, don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Phone out. Just leave your phone in your pocket. You don't have any room. Don't do it. And then slowly. I can't not. I'm telling you, this year I might not even bring my phone.
Don't bring it.
It's amazing. Like my wife never takes a picture or films anything. She just doesn't even think about
it. Right? She enjoys the now.
Or she'll lean over and be, or the pictures that she does take are so perfect. Like we went on this cruise, right? We're on this cruise for 7 days. I'm taking pictures of food, different places. We're in Times Square. We're like on the boat, this and that and everything. And she took probably 5 pictures that are fucking stunning. That are like this Statue of Liberty at dawn. I'm like, did you get up to take that picture?
Oh my God.
I was awake and I saw that the sun was coming up. So I'm like, oh my God, I have 9 pictures of New York pizza. And she gets a stunning picture. Stunning picture.
Making
yeah, we're just different like that. But doesn't mean either one is better. Anyway, look, we've kept you up like way too long. I just wanted to tell you, I wanted to see your face. I wanted to know what was going on. I'm so happy about this. I'm telling everybody, go look for Sass Collective, just TIV at the end of the Instagram one, because I followed the wrong one. So, okay.
But, yes, I'm gonna go and find.
Yeah, right. But I'm super, super excited about it. I think it's going to be huge, and I would like to be on a mailing list of some sort.
We will.
Yeah.
When we've got stuff, you'll see it for sure, my love, and it'll be lovely to see you again soon, actually in the flesh and like like face to face. That'd be amazing. But thank you so much for having me, ladies. JD, it's been an absolute pleasure.
I miss you so much. I can't wait.
Oh, snap. I love
you. Give you a hug.
Yeah.
Why do you always run?
Like, never stop chasing your dreams.
We drank way too much whiskey.
See?
My addiction is you. Don't ask me why I'm here tonight. I had to take this midnight drive to find you. And as I come in through the door, I see her dancing on the floor beside you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You look at me and in my eyes you see the hurt I can't disguise. I want you. addiction is you. I turn away to mask the pain, but jealousy reveals my rage and madness. And knowing you can read my mind consumes me in a shameful kind of sadness. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You are my drug, my ever-waking need. I got you in my blood. You got me on my knees. Why do you always run back to the love you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I